So I want everyone to think I'm just this RH cheerleader. So I go out of my way sometimes to make sure that's not the case.
Yeah.
And that's something, we could get into on the last point too. Like,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, like, as far as disagreeing on with RH on stuff, there's there's definitely a handful of things where I'm like, every time he says it, I'm like, I cringe a little bit because that's not quite the way it is. It's not always because he doesn't know. It's not always, he's ignorant of certain things too. But sometimes he says things that are just like, okay, this is for a very specific purpose in a very specific context, and it cannot be applied generally, but you're using it. I understand what you're doing. I understand, the mission, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But for example, even in Scivive, and I'm a huge fan of Scivive, Fix the World, all that stuff. I'm writing the preface for both of them right now. I'm working with SJ and doing that. So huge supporter. But
awesome.
One thing he talks about is sales. Like, he's like, you talk about this on stream too. Everyone, you should go into sales. Me personally, I think it's like the last thing I would want anyone to go into. Just because I feel like it tugs at your soul. It's like one of those things that could so easily corrupt you in a lot of ways. You're closer to the money. All these positive aspects. But for me, like my integrity, and I never want anything to make me more like, I never want to be in a business or a club or community or whatever it is that encourages me to be more manipulative, or whether it's good or bad. I just don't think that's a good for your soul type of thing. So I think sales marketing, it tends to bring the worst out in people, and that could be skewed. It could just be a lot of the bad people tend to go into those areas. Maybe that just kind of like makes it worse too. But and there's plenty of good salesmen, saleswomen. There's plenty of good people in these things who like are pushing good narratives that to really sell products that couldn't survive without it. But overall, it just, it rubs me, again, coming from an engineering type background. We're always looking for truth. And in sales marketing, you're not looking for truth. You're looking for narrative. And that can be a good thing, but a lot of times it's a bad thing. So that's something where I disagree with Mom. I would not recommend people that to be their first choice, at least. But how about you?
Just real quickly, I think that's an interesting one, because I think you're definitely right, and there's always negative kind of stigmas around, like for example, like car salesmen and other people that do or say whatever it takes to close the deal. But I think in general, maybe that one isn't such a bad thing, because I think he's coming from he's coming from it with the angle that with sales compared to other jobs, you're mostly earning money on commission, and so it kind of forces you to be a little more proactive, and to engage people and talk with them in a way where normally people that work in non-sales positions wouldn't really kind of push themselves to sort of socially interact with people. And I think that's probably where where he's thinking that the positive impact comes from. So maybe maybe it's a little bit of that, but I definitely do kind of agree that I've never really it's hard to look at people in sales in a positive light sometimes, especially when they're kind of sometimes they get get you at the worst times, when you're trying to go about your day, and they're doing everything they can to get you to buy something from them. So
I mean, the tactics they use, they do it for a reason. But to me, like, when I talk to someone, when I communicate, when I'm making deals, when they're trying to sell me something, I'd much prefer they just be upfront about the features and what it does and what it doesn't do. I'm going to buy it. If I'm going to buy it, I'm going to buy it anyways. I just don't like the whole, being given the runaround on stuff and having to figure out, let me ask more questions. Let me figure out what this thing's actually about. Where's the gotcha? I'm always, if I have to look for that for a long period of time and I feel like they're hiding something, that just rubs me the wrong way.
It's definitely a huge turn off. Yeah, for sure. But as far as for me, like, I generally, in general, I don't go out of my way to publicly disagree with Richard, especially on Twitter, because I feel like I owe him the debt of gratitude of just at least publicly showing that loyalty of just kind of agreeing with his path, because at the end of the day, he's the captain of the ship, and we're just the crew, really. But
Absolutely. I mean, his mission is more important than
yeah,
anything else. So it does not
for
matter
sure.
what I disagree with him on or what you disagree or anyone else. His
Yeah,
mission is glory, and
yeah.
it's going to happen regardless.
Yeah, it always comes first for him, and he and everything he does goes to suit that, that cause. So from that perspective, even though there are certain things that I do disagree with him on, I usually I just kind of keep it to myself, and just discuss it among fellow hexagons like yourself. But one thing that I can't think of off the top of my head was he used to sometimes with his like outrage marketing, and with his style of talk of like aggressive talking on streams and stuff. He used to cite the fact that that Trump won the presidency that one time, as
Mm.
as a way of saying outrage marketing, and
Yeah.
that style of talking works. And I've
When
always
I'll start being
disagreed.
nice when people like
Y-
the
y-
when people
y-
like people that are
yeah,
nice or something like
he
that. Yeah.
he says stuff like I'll try humility when it pays better, or something
Yeah.
like that. And to that I kind of disagree with him, because there's that added nuance that he ignored, that actually it's funny when you look back. Hillary actually won the popular vote, but the only reason why Trump won was because of the electoral college. And that funny enough, if we go back into American history, that was put in place to kind of to as kind of like a check and balance against the popular vote,
Right.
being the worst decision. So funny enough, that was like that one case where it actually, I guess you could say, depending on your political preference, worked out for the better. But there's still stuff like that sometimes I think he doesn't take the nuance of the situation into account when he cites something like that. So
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, he used it to his advantage,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure. I
exactly.
mean, but
Yeah.
would it be better to not do that?
Uh,
That's the thing. I asked myself too. Like, would it be better if he
yeah,
was just completely like talking about both sides each time? I
yeah.
don't
I
know.
think yeah, yeah. I think it all goes
I
back to
prefer doing that. I prefer
yeah,
it, but for him and what he's trying to accomplish, maybe it is the
yeah.
right thing to do.
For more quote unquote normal people like us, I think that's naturally what we gravitate towards. But he's definitely a person, a man on a different level, and his his mission and his purpose comes first. And so if he's willing to bend, I don't want to say bend the truth, but for lack of a better term, if he wants to fudge the details a little bit to get his point across and to get his narrative across better, then that's what he's going to do. And I don't knock him for that, because at the end of the day, he's he's trying to change the world. And
Yeah.
if he does stuff like that to try to further his own cause, then so
It's a means to
yeah,
an end.
yeah, exactly.
But in a good, you always hear that quoted in movies as it, that's what the villain does. But this time it's
Yeah,
different. All right, just not the
yeah.
villain.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No, I
just
agree.
little stuff
I
like
think,
that.
could you see him in, I don't know, like maybe I just got so used to, I said I agree, but like, okay, so I guess I agree that he doesn't have to do that, but
Mm,
I would say that he does it because, he's doing everything he can to, become more popular.
mm,
And people like controversial people, Andrew Tate,
yeah,
you mentioned earlier. I mean,
yeah,
that's how you build, that's how you 10x
yeah,
your profile, 10x your followers, stuff like
yeah,
that. So does he hate doing it? I don't know if he hates doing it. I think that he's kind of a natural at some of the stuff, for
yeah,
better or for worse.
yeah,
But would he have less? Would he have more followers? Would he have all this stuff if he was just like Cardano guy, was just super nice, just
mm,
answered everyone's questions, was just a little bit
yeah,
funny, didn't wear all these clothes. I don't know. I think
yeah,
means to an end. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. Now, is he always right? No, I don't think he's always right. I think
mm,
there's some things that if he was really honest about it, he would do a little bit differently,
yeah,
but nobody's
for
perfect
sure.
like that, of course.
Yeah,
But I think it's working. Whatever he's doing,
y-
it's working.
yeah, for sure. And there's still hexagons to this day that argue back and forth about whether his outrage marketing really is effective, and I think to some degree the people that don't like it still kind of have a little bit of a point, because even though we might get a lot of views from what he's doing, it doesn't necessarily speak to the quality of the type of people that he's getting attention from. And if those kinds of people will actually, take action and actually buy into Hex, and if that, if it actually leads to actual conversion of people being interested in, getting into crypto, um, yeah, that's an entirely different matter. And
Yeah.
it sucks because it comes with the negative externality of, he fully says that, if I have to dress like a clown, I will, to get all this attention. But at the same time, he could be. It comes at the opportunity cost of the respect and the attention of people that are, people in crypto that are already, that are sort of more on his level when it comes to, being more knowledgeable about the technical things about crypto. They couldn't give a crap about what he wears and, the cars that he has. And I think those are the streams. Those are the types of people that he streams with. It would make for, sometimes better conversations. But at the same time, who am I to tell him, who to, like, where to go and what to do? So it's definitely, it's definitely working. And he got on Valuetainment and Fresh and Fit because of, the strategy that he's going on. And hopefully, I hear that, some Mexicans are even trying to set up a stream with him and Andrew Tate. So hopefully
That
that'll
would be
be
amazing.
amazing, because that'll get like millions of views, I think. So,
Andrew Tate. Let's get Joe Rogan. Let's get
yeah,
Jordan Peterson. Let's
for
get
sure.
everybody who's respectable in one way or another and has a following.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a super fair criticism.
Mm.
He is one of those. He's one of those people that, you know, it's amazing to watch. Again, you've been watching him for a long time. 2018.
Yeah.
I came in around 2017 at some point. It's he's an enigma in a lot of
Mm.
ways.
Yeah.
And will we ever know the real Richard? Again, not that it matters, but like, will we ever, even a one-on-one conversation, I still feel like we wouldn't quite be able to connect because he's so far into his mission,
Mm.
of doing crypto. And, I believe it's a means to an end for longevity research. And maybe
Yeah.
there's a Heart Foundation one day where he's literally saving people. That's my, speculation at
Yeah.
least.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, and if, it's funny you bring that up, because you had a question that we skipped over, which is RH the only founder that you need to follow? And
That's right.
and to that, I would answer, he's probably not the only founder that you need to follow, but he's the one that I mean, obviously I'm a little biased because, the thing he created helped retire me, and to the point where I don't have to worry about money. But more so
Yeah.
than that, he's the only crypto founder that, talks, well, I guess besides Vitalik, about, life extension and longevity, and
Yeah.
healing people of disease, and extending their lives. And as somebody that has had so many family members, uh, you know killed off from cancer and other diseases, that's something that I can really respect. And for me, it puts him in a tier above, all the crypto founders, because at the end of the day, saving lives and extending life, is what really matters, because it can't do anything and can't enjoy your money if you're dead, so or even if
Yeah.
you're sick to some
Or
extent. So
people,
yeah,
yeah, people save yourself, save your family. I mean, that's
exactly.
what he can do. All these things that people say this and that they don't like him because of that. Is
Yeah.
is he attracting people based on an IQ test of can you see through this and see what my real mission is?
Mm.
Maybe, but his goal of like doing longevity and all this stuff and what it takes to get there, I think he will go down as a person in history who did something great, and that's what I think he wants to be one of the greatest men to ever live,
Yeah,
and I think he's
absolutely.
well on his way.
Yeah, I think he already is, but we already know that because we're on the inside. But
well, when
the rest of
PulseChain
the
hits a
world,
penny, then we'll crown him.
yeah,
Okay.
the rest of the world will figure that out in time. So yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.